Hey guys, and welcome to the Week 3 recap. So, this week you learned about cultural diversity and how important it is to be aware of various cultural beliefs and be sensitive to them. I think it's an especially important topic to cover since we live in a pretty non diverse region here in the North Country. So, it's likely that most of us are not exposed to a lot of different cultures, which actually makes it that much more important for us to educate ourselves and broaden our cultural awareness. You also had a little Communication 101 lesson where you put your skills to use in the active listening assignment. I actually had a lot of fun reading those, by the way, so thanks for that. It actually inspired me to print out the assignment instructions and keep them handy so that I could use them with my kids and my family and my students. So I think what's interesting about it is I think in American culture, it's really very common to engage in a lot of small talk and having deeper conversations, more investigative conversations, can actually make us uncomfortable. So, a lot of you didn't really experience that since you were interviewing close friends and family members, but a couple of you did who were interviewing strangers or mere acquaintances. But either way, the active listening techniques do make you a more attentive and sincere listener, and they do help you get more information from your interviewee, which can be particularly important when that interviewee is a patient. Finally, this week there was the hypothetical flu vaccine scenario where I wanted to put some of your fact finding and critical thinking skills to use. There were a lot of good explanations about how the reporter's statement about flu vaccines increasing flu cases was faulty. For instance, maybe the flu vaccine strain was not a good match for the dominant strain of flu that season. Or maybe there were more immunocompromised people that year. Or maybe people were mistaking cold symptoms or vaccine side effects for flu infection. Many of you went actually straight to the source, the CDC, and found statistics that contradicted the reporters, just concluding that the reporter didn't do his homework, which could be a reality. So, to quote one of you, I think it was Alexandra, who said, "Even though it is so easy to believe everything we read or hear, we need to remember to ask the question, but why, and do our own research," which I think really hit the nail on the head. Another reason I chose the flu vaccine scenario for the critical thinking activity is because, as some of you even brought up in the forum, many healthcare employers actually require staff to be vaccinated or wear a mask during the flu season. And since all of you want to go into healthcare, it's something to be aware of and be educated about, both for yourself and for your patients. So that's week 3 recap. Now on to week 4. Week 4 has fewer assignments due because you also need to start spending time organizing and arranging your job shadow and finding healthcare professionals to interview for the upcoming weeks. You'll want to give yourself plenty of time to complete those assignments, so don't leave it until the last minute, even if it's not due for several weeks, okay? And also make sure that you print and read the documents that I posted about the job shadow and the interviews because it contains detailed instructions about the assignment and also the due dates for them for each of you. All right, so as always, please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. See you next week.